Hey guys, welcome back. And I kind of want to address this whole Starfield Nexus Mods thing because this has gotten kind of crazy. This entire situation that started with, a successful but somewhat shaky launch of a game, and then devolved into the pronoun debate, as well as, what systems the game actually works on versus, frame droppage, skipping, desync, audio issues. It's just been a mess, okay? So long story short, Starfield has had what is considerably I would say, a successful launch. Early access sold a ton of copies. Starfield peaked with 6 million concurrent players, or 6 million players at launch, I should say. Which is a considerable amount of people, right? So it's a very large amount of people. So that being said, I think it hit 1 million concurrent at its peak, which is not an all-time record if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure other games like Hogwarts Legacy and so on have beat it. But it's kind of hard to track the data on this due to the fact that there's so many people like myself playing it on Game Pass, where we don't have to pay for it other than our monthly subscription. We didn't have to spend the $70 for an early access copy or the $90 for the limited edition copy. So tracking the numbers of how many people are actually playing it's a little messy. What I can tell you is that overall people seem to be enjoying the game. On Steam, it has actually dropped from very positive to mostly positive, but that's still the majority of people are actually having a good time with the game. One of these top reviews that I saw from somebody that's got 24 hours on record said it's not the best thing since sliced bread, but it's a solid Bethesda game with tons of content. Just don't go in looking for the next Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky. What I find kind of weird is I thought that this game was kind of sold as another No Man's Sky. So that's kind of I don't know, I feel like the whole idea of tempering your expectations is reasonable, but you have been sold a bill of goods at some point that you're expecting to be able to have delivered on. So that being said, reviews on Game Pass are a lot more shaky. 3.0 out of 5 potential, stars. And I think a lot of it is the same issue I experienced at first, not knowing it needed to be installed to your SSD, clearing up enough room that once you've installed it to your SSD that it actually functions properly. And for some people, myself included, I thought the Todd Howard comment about upgrading your software, your hardware, is a little silly, because of the fact that so many of us have computers that even if they're 3 or 4 years old, they actually have more power or comparable power to what you can get from the new Xbox Series S or X. Prime example, once I actually figured out getting enough space cleared up off my SSD, I actually have Starfield running in the background right here. And as you can see, I've got it on high settings, low shadows, because I don't want to mess with my game as far as shadows go. Motion blur turned off, and the frames are all right. Not amazing. I'm not getting 60 FPS, but for the size of the world that this game is, I'm fine with it. Now, actually, to be honest, full disclosure, from what little I've played since I fixed the stuttering issues and the audio desync, I've more or less enjoyed it. I've played it about 3 hours. I'm going to try to do a live stream maybe later tonight, play a little bit more. But overall, enjoying the game. Positive things to say about it personally. Not everyone's having the same experience, but that's fine. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. But what I find really crazy is that this started off with a bunch of people going after Az from Heel vs. Babyface over his video rant about, pronouns in the game, right? And I don't even need to bother playing it. We've all seen it by this point. If you haven't, it's pretty easy to find. But people like Hassan Piker came out and said that Az needed to be lobotomized over this kind of thing, which the general response from a lot of people is, well, the pronouns, it's 3 seconds out of your day. It's not a big deal. And okay, I can understand why somebody would say that and have that opinion, but it goes back to the same thing where it's like, I personally have an issue with people thinking they can self-identify with their own made-up pronouns. Therefore, I do have an ideological issue with it. Yes, I was able to click male character, male physique, male walking style, and move on with my day, fine. And I'm still enjoying the game. But do I find that situation where you're forced into playing a game that you don't, literal, like a metaphorical game, playing their game with the pronouns, I do find it distasteful. I do find it a little disturbing that we don't have an option to say, dude, just male and female character, I'm not playing the pronoun garbage game, whatever. So that being said, we now have this controversy over Nexus Mods, one of the largest, if not the largest website for hosting mods, where there was a lot of scuttlebutt about whether or not they actually removed a mod from their site that removes the pronoun options from the game. Now, again, this kind of goes hand in hand with the idea that if people are screaming at us that the pronouns aren't a big deal, why are you freaking out about it? Then why is it a big deal that removing them from the game should get somebody banned? And so, of course, it was a big rumor. People couldn't confirm that the mod no longer existed, that the user was banned. And finally, Nexus Mods themselves released a statement saying that the account did, in fact, the mod was banned, and that they do stand for inclusivity and diversity. And if this policy upsets you, if we've broken some moral code of conduct as a business that you can't accept, then please delete your account and move on, as we will. I mean, I don't know, telling people that, you know, if you don't like it, go away, that's usually like the last resort in my opinion, especially from like a business-minded perspective. But if you remember the Spider-Man flag controversy, where somebody had put a mod in Spider-Man where you could actually remove the pride flags that they have in New York City, again, if the pride flags aren't a big deal, then what's the big deal about removing them? So then, of course, they released this statement afterwards discussing how we have pride flags in the game because we're all for inclusivity and diversity, and somebody made a sock account with a mod that removed them. And had it not been a sock account, we just would have given the guy a warning, but if he did it again, we would have banned him. Basically saying, if you don't like it, tough, go away. The same issue we have now with this whole pronoun thing. And again, it's the same kind of idea. Some people have an ideological issue with the pride flags, not with, you know, gay people themselves or people having rights, the same rights as everybody else, regardless of their orientation. It's the celebration of a political ideology or a cultural ideology that people don't agree with. And sure enough, Nexus Mods is going to stand by them and say, if you don't like it, go away. We don't want you here. So they basically confirmed it. So if you already were debating not playing Starfield because of the pronouns, I would say don't even bother going to Nexus Mods to download a mod to try to remove things you don't like, because they'll flat out ban people for putting mods on there just like they did with the pride flags. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.